I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast.
We're two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
We are here.
What rhymes with here? That's
not
queer.
We
are here.
It's okay. We're here.
Yeah, we're here.
We're gonna talk about more Search WWW. I'm so freaking excited.
It was good.
Yeah.
These last two eps. We talked about this a little bit earlier before we recorded, but it's been okay. Mm-hmm. There's been some good moments, but finally in this episode, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah, definitely. Was it last week? I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, because we hung out before, and then I was like, did you watch? You were like, no, is it good? I was like, yeah. Just wait.
Yeah, and then this episode, I just texted Jill, fuck. Like, oh my god. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like really fucking excited to talk about this.
I say we just
jump
get in
right
there.
in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
So, episode 11.
Yes.
We start with Tommy talking to Morgan on the phone in her car. She's annoyed that Morgan is going to the reunion. Remember from, like, last week, he brought it up kind of casually, and she was, like, venting to Scarlett about,
she was like, it's fine. He's like, why would he go?
Yeah.
Why would he think that's okay?
Yeah, because there are going to be women there. And, yeah, they're kind of in that, like, sort of possessive-y phase. So she's like, okay, whatever, bye. She pulls over after she hangs up with Morgan when she sees her piano teacher walking on the street, and she is also on her way to, she doesn't say reunion, right?
I think she says she's meeting friends or something.
Yeah. She's on her way to meet up friends, and she's reuniting with her first love.
And she's talking about how excited that is for her.
Yeah,
how exciting.
She's just, like, giddy. She is so freaking excited. Turns out, I kind of called it.
You
Morgan
did.
is her first love.
You did. And I was watching and I was like, oh my god, Caitlin was right! And I immediately wanted to text you, but I was like, if she hasn't watched yet, I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
But holy shit. But when she said, like, they're both standing out there, I think, and she says, like, oh, I see him now, I have to go, whatever. And the camera, like, went to him, quote unquote, too late, to where you see just, like, the back of him, and I was like, Normally in a K-drama, they do a fucking close-up of this dude in slow motion, looking gorgeous. But they just showed the back of him. Why?
His shoulders.
Yes.
They look good together, though.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
I feel like they would make a good couple. It's just too much. It's so exciting.
You called it.
I've given up on that prediction.
Yeah, I was thinking about it when I started it. Like, I wish Caitlin's prediction was right, because that sounded like a really good storyline. And then it happened. I was just, like, on the sofa, just, like, thrashing, like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
Paused it, and that's when I texted you, like, oh my god. And I told Alex, I was like, like, I couldn't get over it. And they did it in such a good way, too. Because in my version, in my fanfiction, they met kind of coincidentally.
Yes.
But I like that there's this
They already have,
there. Yeah.
They've already dated.
Because that kind of, like, gives it more, not urgency, but more, like, credence, I guess? Like,
and, like, it could happen.
Yeah, it could happen, because it already did happen.
And she obviously still has feelings for him.
Totally. Oh, God. So anyway, that happened.
Yep.
Tommy then runs into Pyojun-soo. Why can't I remember his name? I just write
That fucking asshole. Just say that fucking asshole.
I just wrote down PJS.
The one who cheats on his ladies, and he's annoying as shit. That one.
So yeah, that young ex. the young ex of him. I think her name is Hong something. Guys, I'm sorry.
But she's not a main character. He's not a main character either. They're both terrible.
Yeah.
You're meant to dislike both of them, I think.
I agree. So. I feel like maybe the young girl is kind of on the fence. Like, maybe she'll have a redeeming last episode. But I think I say no.
Okay.
Well, that girl. Tommy runs into her, and they talk about Morgan and Tommy breaking up with him so she can date...
Like, why?
Yeah, so unnecessary.
No, she has no redeeming qualities. I'm sorry. She's an asshole.
True. Well, she goes to Tommy. She was like, you know, you could date even younger dudes than him, and you should break up with him so I can date him. Like, it's kind of wild. So then Morgan calls Tommy to set up a time where they can see each other later. I think he's still at the reunion at this point, or maybe, like, just left. But she kind of blows him off because she's still pissed at him.
Naturally. The piano teacher and Morgan catch up at the reunion. And he's nice, a little bit standoffish, a little bit kind of like, this is a person I used to date and I feel a little uncomfortable seeing them again after so many years. But he's friendly. Do
you think they actually used to date? Did she say that? Or did she just say, like, this is... Like, was it a one-sided...
I don't know. That's interesting.
Because that was unclear to me. Because I feel like his friend would have made a bigger deal about her, like...
That's true.
But his friend also said that he used to string girls along a lot. So...
Maybe he strung her along and she was just, like, madly in love with him.
Yeah, totally. I guess we will see what happens.
Yeah, yep. Some flashbacks, please.
Yes, please. Definitely.
So anyway, they're kind of just catching up at this point. Everyone seems to be having a good time.
Yeah, but he's, like, not flirting back.
Yeah, he's just being nice.
And she's not really flirting that much with him. She's, like, being outgoing, I would say, but not, like, flirtatious.
And trying to see, like, what he's up to these days, how he's doing or whatever.
Totally.
I guess maybe also trying to, like, find out the tea, like, are you with anyone, or without asking.
Yeah, totally.
At this time, Tommy is having a hard time with the new CEO guy, and he's really only pushing sales instead of thinking like Brian, which is like big picture stuff. And it's almost like he's doing the opposite of how Brian would do things, which is interesting.
Yeah.
To go from someone pretty laid back like Brian and like pretty quote unquote cool and hip. Yeah, because I think Brian was very much about like keeping the company relevant and successful and staying
kind of,
with
like,
trends,
cutting edge, and like even like starting trends maybe. Rather, this guy is just like, we need money, we want money.
We gotta make that money.
I think Tommy even makes a comment, maybe not in the scene, but later on, like, you can't use that as an excuse. Like, we already have enough money. Oh, because he says something along the lines of, like, we need to make money to keep the employees, like, employed or whatever. And she was like, that's not a good excuse. Like, we already have tons of money. Yeah. And ... Yeah. Then we have Ga Gyung, who is getting pictures of her husband and sees that she is in them. Like, some dude... Is he wearing a mask? He's wearing a helmet, right? He's wearing like a motorcycle helmet. Yeah. It looks like he's gonna murder her. Every time she's like walking alone, it looks like somebody's gonna fucking murder her. But somebody like comes up to her, whatever, and then she ends up getting an envelope with photos, and the photos are her husband and her. Yeah, so if we remember from previous episodes, she was always getting these envelopes with photos of her husband and other women. I thought she was... Same. She had hired someone to... But I guess not. To tail him, but no. Yeah. That's even more hurtful. Yeah. To just not, like, unprompted, just get pictures of your husband, like, cheating on you. Yeah, it was really fucking weird. Yeah. She confronts this delivery guy in the elevator, and he tells her that he's just a delivery dude. But she doesn't believe him. So she sees, I don't know. It's a weird fucking thing. I don't even know what to make of these people. It all kind of happened really quickly. Yeah. It was like... She saw the photos, saw the guy, looked at the photos, went into the elevator, and she was like, I know you know something. And then, like, goes to the next scene really fast. Alex and Ellie seem to be working well together. I like Ellie. I like Alex a lot, too. We finally got to see more of him. Yeah. In that last episode when he was drunk and we thought he was going to die. Yeah. He didn't die, I guess. He didn't. That's good. That's I really like them together, too. I'm wondering what their age difference is. Yeah. But they both... look young. They look good together. Yeah. So they're doing well, and then the department heads of the My Homepage, Games, and Books departments storm into the task force offices because they hear that they will be removed from the homepage. And then they end up all debating amongst themselves which
all devolves into a screaming match. Everyone's blaming everyone else, saying so-and-so shouldn't be in the homepage anymore. Mm-hmm. They all start to blame Games because nobody likes that guy.
Yeah.
And so it's like, he's an easy target. He's shitty anyway.
Yeah, but then he's like, but really no one uses this thing. And so, like, then the books guy, like, jumps on that. And then they're like, no one reads books. They're just all making a case for why none of them should be on the homepage, honestly. But yeah. It was kind of, like, boring work stuff, but also kind of funny.
Yeah. And just the way they stormed in, too.
Yeah, like...
It was super dramatic.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So, Ga-kyung finds the dude who had been taking the pictures of her husband and confronts him. And we see a flashback of her husband asking the guy to keep taking pictures of him and sending them to Ga-kyung for evidence. So I think the photographer, I guess, the stalker, was originally taking pictures for, like, blackmail, it seemed. And her husband was like, I don't care, I will pay you to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. And so I guess he was, like, playing the long game of, like, if for whatever reason she needed to leave or something, or she needed, like, ammunition against him, like, she would have it. So I guess that's nice in his own weird way.
Yeah.
So Ga-kyung starts thinking of all of the things her husband has done for her. So it's just kind of like rapid fire, like that stuff, like letting her stay at the apartment, how the passcode is her birthday, etc. And she's like, oh, maybe he has feelings for me? Or what? It's all
what's happening?
Confusing. Yeah, because like prior to her basically asking for a divorce, or like even her catching him like framing Tommy or whatever, they were very cold towards each other. So
like not even really speaking.
Yeah. So this is kind of like an abrupt change. Or maybe she's just like noticing finally all the things.
Yeah.
So Morgan's team has a little barbecue picnic thing, and they talk about work and Morgan dating. It's just kind of like a filler scene, I guess, like having his friends.
Just more moments with the
up.
Reunion people.
Yeah. So Tommy has her piano lessons, which always just turns into gossip time. Like, I don't really see them playing piano very much. The piano teacher hasn't texted Morgan, and Tommy unknowingly convinces her to. Oh, that's so cringy. It's so terrible.
And nobody knows.
I know. It's just like, why wouldn't... To me, if I were, like, gossiping about somebody, I would just, like, show them a picture. Like, this is who I'm talking about. Like,
yeah, or ask, what does he look like?
Or, what's his name, even?
Yeah. What does
How
he do?
did y'all meet? Yeah. But no questions about anything.
Not even, like, it's interesting he even has, like, an American name. Huh.
Yeah. Basically, the piano teacher is just, like, gushing about Morgan. Like, she's super into him. And she apologizes to Tommy for losing one of her earrings. I'm wondering if this is going to, like, come back. Can I jump into predictions?
Do it.
Okay. No, because at the end of, where are we, 12, it seems like Tommy's, like, connecting the dots. At this point, I was thinking that Tommy would figure it out because Morgan picked up the girl's earring. Because you remember she said, like... So basically, I kind of skipped over this, but Tommy lends the piano teacher earrings to complete her look before she goes into the reunion. In this scene, yeah, I know, Tommy's turning into a real sweetheart. At this point, the piano teacher apologizes because she lost one of the earrings. And my thought was that Tommy would find the earring, like, at Morgan's house or something, and be like, what? And then kind of, like, connect all the dots. But flashing forward, it kind of seems like dots have already been connected. Yeah. So I'm wondering if that was just, like, a filler scene also.
It just seemed weird the way it was put together. Like,
yeah, that's why I thought it would play into something
It seems
bigger.
weird to have a scene of her lending her earrings. And then to suddenly lose an earring.
Yeah, for it not to be a bigger plot point. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's going to come up again. In what context, I don't know. But I think it will. Ji-hwan, he has an unpleasant interaction with one of the stars of the drama that he's in. He's really nice about it. He's cool, whatever. And the other guy is just a diva. He kind of walks away. And then Scarlett sees this from the sidelines. And Ji-hwan tells her not to get angry. And she ends up rehearsing with him. They're rehearsing, like, the characters. Oh, they're rehearsing the whole storyline because he was going to practice with that guy. And that guy's like, I don't practice.
Yeah,
I don't need to practice.
Rehearsals.
I'm not like this guy. And he got all fucking pissed. He's like, what?
Yeah, and he has, like, his assistant, like, holding an umbrella over.
So stupid.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
So she decides, like, I'll rehearse with you. It's fine or whatever. So the character's name is Minhyuk, like Min Min.
I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, Jill.
Min Min.
Did you think of
Yes,
that?
I thought of Minhyuk. Yeah, and so he has a really mean line that kind of hurts Scarlett's feelings, which is kind of weird. Because Scarlett, we're acting.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it hurt her feelings or if she was just, like, so surprised that he could deliver something.
Yeah, that he was, like, so good at it.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, he played a mean guy in that other drama.
It's the same drama, yeah, like she saw
when she was watching him, like, while she was working out, she was talking about how mean he was.
Yeah.
So she's seen him be mean, but I guess not toward her in that context.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she seems to kind of be hurt or whatever. So he just hugs her out of nowhere, and it's a really cute moment, and she's kind of shocked and nervous looking, which is interesting to see with Scarlett. Yeah. Because most of the time you see her really hard.
Yeah, she's, like, very commanding.
Unless she's with Ga-kyung. Sunbae.
Or Tommy when she's drunk.
Yeah. So he ends up reading the nice brothers lines to make up for the mean lines. And Scarlett's just in love with him, but a little too nervous. Yeah. And it's interesting because there's moments where it seems like they're going to kiss. Uh-huh. And then suddenly she's weird. Yeah. And uncomfortable. And giving weird signals, like following him around and doing all these nice things, but then being like, I'm just a fan. Yeah. And it's just like, girl, this is like an up-and-coming famous actor. You could be married to this up-and-coming famous actor and have an amazing life. Yeah. And he's good-looking, and he's in film. And he likes you. He likes you. What is happening? It's obvious. I know. We're kind of jumping ahead again, but yeah. I'm sorry. No, it's very frustrating because I'm like, what's the problem here? I know. You're hot, he's hot, you like him, he likes you. You found that picture of his dog on the internet. Uh-huh. You helped him get his role back. Yep. I don't know what he's done for her yet, but... Yeah, that comes up later, too. Yeah, but, he's nice to you. He's nice. Unlike Pyo-jun whatever. No, Pyo-jun Soo. Soo, I think. Pyo-jun Soo. Yeah. Okay. Not Pyo-jun Soo. Soon. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. PJS. Ga-kyung meets the chairwoman, which is her mother-in-law, with a bunch of old dudes. And she came in thinking that it was going to be a negotiation for the divorce, but it looks like it's really just a meeting to make her CEO instead. Uh-huh. And so the chairwoman keeps calling her daughter-in-law. Ga-kyung continues to rebel and tells the chairwoman that she's getting a divorce and tells her what a negotiation should be. The chairwoman fires back by saying she'll direct her power at her now, which is sad because she actually liked her a little. I'm kind of sick of this mother-in-law and this whole weird family. Yeah. Like... I mean, because for the past, 3 episodes... It kind of seems like Ga-kyung has been challenging her. Yeah. He's like, just you wait. And nothing has happened yet. And I'm like, are you gonna fucking do something other than try to make her CEO? Yeah. It's... Well, because, she did kind of play mind games with her. Because before Ga-kyung showed up, it was like, meet me here, we'll work out the terms of the divorce. And then she kind of, blindsided her. But, that doesn't really affect Ga-kyung in any way. If she was already had her mindset on, I'm leaving this. It's just kind of, a roadblock. Yeah, well, I thought we were going to do this, but I guess we're not. Yeah, it's weird. So, Morgan goes to the bottle offices. Oh, I said that weird. Offices to sign his contract for the new game that they're working on. And the women in the gaming department are, fawning over him like crazy, which annoys Pyo-jun Soo. He makes comments about Morgan's looks being transient, and they start making, little snarky comments to each other. And Morgan is, keeping his cool the whole time.
but, like, saying kind of backhanded things.
Yeah.
And it just, like, flusters Pyo-jun. So he's like, well, you're not going to be young forever. And, like, and then Morgan's like, are you being informal with me? And he's like, I don't know. It just, I found that really funny. Well, all the while, all the girls are like, oh my god. Which I think is funny because in my head, I'm like, he's not that hot.
He's not, no.
My mom and I were talking about him, and she was like, I feel bad. She was like, I kind of like that they got an average-looking dude for the main character. And I'm like, I feel like he's slightly above average, but, like,
yeah.
He's no Shijin. He's no Minhyuk. Like, his looks are not
he's
stopping.
okay.
He is an average to slightly above average dude. My mom thinks it's because he's tall. And, like, being tall in Korea is kind of, like, a big thing. Like, oh, he's hot because he's tall. And he has, like, broad shoulders.
Okay.
Because I guess some Asian dudes are kind of, like, smaller in stature. So if you're, like, tall and broad, it's like, oh, that's a thing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But face-wise.
All right, I guess. Yeah, face-wise. That's what I look at. I'm like, how's your face, though?
How's your forehead?
Yeah. Well, keep hiding that forehead. Why? What's under there?
Push that hair back. So, yeah. So, mean comments, blah, blah, blah. Morgan leaves the meeting and then runs into Scarlett in the hallway. He tells her that he started working for Bato, but to keep it a secret. And she tells him that Tommy really hated that he went to the reunion. I
love when she says it, because it's just like in passing. She's like, by the way, you know Tommy hated that you went to that reunion.
Yeah, like, you know you fucked up, right?
And she had this smirk, like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
How could you not know?
I love her. So good. And, like, I like seeing, like, just in TV shows or whatever, when, like, a friend has to interact with the boyfriend, and they're not really close, and they kind of, like, make remarks towards each other.
Yeah.
I like those dynamics. So, Tommy gets all upset when she meets up with Morgan. He gets upset back at her since she showed her jealousy to Scarlett instead of him. And she doesn't play along, so he leaves. Basically, he was like, you should have told me that you were upset. Like, why are you hiding your feelings from me and showing them to someone else? Like, we're supposed to be intimate with each other. And he's tries to get her to, like, play along with him and, like, show her jealousy to him. And she's like, no. And I was really surprised that he just, like, got up and left.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I thought he was going to turn around and walk back and be
make a funny comment.
Yeah, but no, he just left. That kind of made me sad.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why do you want to see her so jealous and mad?
I guess it's because he wants to see that she actually cares about him, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because, like, Alex and I haven't had this exact conversation or thing play out, but we have kind of had, like, a similar thing where it's like, you should tell me, like, if something makes you upset or, like, jealous or something, because it, like, kind of lets the other person know that you actually care.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, keeping it to yourself and, like, just letting it fester and stew or whatever. So, but anyway. Yeah, that was weird that he just got up and left. Tommy runs into Scarlett, and they talk about Morgan, and Tommy tries to figure out what she said while she was jealous. Because at this point, she's like, I don't fucking remember. Like, it seems like that was what was holding her back, like, not
knowing what she said.
Yeah. So they're going through the whole, like, jealousy bit, and all, like, they keep kind of flipping back and forth between Morgan and work. And so they agree that the games tab should be cut from the homepage. And then Scarlett keeps calling Tommy cute, which annoys Tommy. They're fun together.
And she's saying something like, you kind of did it like that, but your eyes were bigger. You looked cuter when you did it.
Yeah, you look so cute when you're upset.
And she's like, why do you keep saying that?
She does not like being called cute.
No, she really doesn't. Ga-kyung sees Scarlett working in a cafe. And then we get another flashback of them in school. And Scarlett is just sticking up for her again. So basically, all through just school, Scarlett protected Ga-kyung, it seems.
And, like, Ga-kyung was like, here's a tie.
Yeah. Here's a tie. Go ruin your fucking athletic career and just protect me always. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
The CEO at Unicon gets a call from a congressman. He tells her that Ga-kyung is going to be made CEO. she ends up meeting with the chairwoman. The chairwoman tells her to make things hard for Ga-kyung, and the CEO confronts her about how she was going to make Ga-kyung the CEO, and that's a lot of CEO talking here.
I know.
And asks why she should make things difficult for her. The chairwoman tells her that she'll be CEO either way. So either the chairwoman will give her the position if she stays married, or she will get divorced and fight her way to the top. So basically, like, she's fucked either way.
Yeah, and she's like, so it's better to be in good graces with me, even though you're fucked anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm like, bitch, you don't know that Ga-kyung wants to be CEO? Like, to me, she has made no indication that she wants to be CEO of Unicon. Yeah. Right?
No.
Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Because she did say, like, it's her baby. Like, she, like, kind of, not created it, but brought it up with her. But she also keeps talking about how she wants to disappear. So to me, that says, like, I want to get a divorce, get my monies, get my alimony.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. And, like, go live
not see
by
these
the
people
sea
anymore.
Or something. Yeah. Why would she want to, like, be entangled
with these assholes?
Yes. That doesn't make any sense. Like, that chairwoman is so manipulative.
Oh, yeah. We've seen it. The task force is tasked with mediating all of the different departments during the reorganization process. And they all have a really tough time. So it's just cutting to each person and their dilemma. Tommy has to confront the acting CEO, and she's got, obviously, the hardest task here. She realizes that he's just trying to prove that Bato doesn't need Brian through analytics and numbers. Which, like, come on, Brian's amazing.
I know.
Fuck off, guy.
It's like, well, and it's really weird because if you think back to the, like, initial meeting where they were trying to, like, organize the company after Brian left, he was like, I'll do it for now, but, like, we need to get this position. Yeah. It kind of seemed like he didn't even want to be CEO, and so now it doesn't seem like he's necessarily trying to throw Brian under the bus, but it kind of seems like he's trying to, like, really make himself look better than Brian. But it's so weird because with big companies like that, like, I feel like company culture is a really big deal. And like, obviously he's not fitting in with that company culture, and like everyone's
he should be at Unicon.
Yeah.
It seems.
Totally.
Everyone there seems kind of cold.
Yeah. Even the building.
Yeah, except for that one guy that Tommy ran into at the steps.
Oh, yeah.
Who was, like, giving her all the tea.
He was part of the gaming department, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, he seemed like a good guy.
Yes, because he was going to do the music with, what's his face?
Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ga-kyung has to attend a disciplinary hearing for giving that press conference with the permission. She ends up getting suspended for 2 months.
Ooh.
I know. I wonder with pay or without pay, because probably without pay.
She's probably got a lot of money, though.
Yeah, she's fine. She goes to the apartment, like the secret apartment, to find her husband cooking. We learn that he was cut off financially while he was studying film in New York, so that's how he knows how to cook. Also, I guess he had a rough go of it. Like, he had a rough patch with his family.
Yep.
While pursuing his dreams. So,
look at his family.
Yeah, so good for him, I guess.
Yeah.
Ga-kyung tells him about the pictures, and she thanks him for the evidence, but tells him it still hurt her feelings a little bit. And he's like, sorry, I just thought, like, I could contribute something to this, like, really shitty lives of ours. So he apologizes for not being a better man, but tells her that he will definitely give her the divorce, and he also prepared gifts for their wedding anniversary. He tells her that they should celebrate at least once.
Damn.
There's so many mixed signals in this relationship.
That's why I'm, like, tired of it, because I'm just, like, it's so back and forth, and you're dealing with this obnoxious fucking mother who's a goddamn asshole. And it's always the same weird shit with her, just mind games and complaining and yelling at people.
Tattooing people,
whipping people probably. Whipping these men naked after she draws them. She draws them, she whips them, and then she tattoos them. And then she like...
paints the tattoo on the canvas.
Yes. And then she kicks them out of her house, literally, like, kicking them.
What a weirdo.
She's so strange.
She's like a sociopath.
And I bet she does all of that, really.
Yeah.
And we then cut to Morgan, and he's having a meeting with his biological mother at her office. She's a professor, and they seem to have, like, a pretty decent relationship. But then at some point, like, her boss calls her in real quick, and so she leaves and her phone rings. And it's that uncomfortable thing where you're, like, hanging with someone and their phone's, like, in sight. And they get a text or something, and you can't help but, like, kind of just look.
Yeah.
And see who it is or what they're saying or whatever. So her phone rings, and he kind of leans over, and it says son on the caller ID. And it just, he has this look on his face, like, he's very uncomfortable suddenly.
Yeah, like, it really hit him, like, oh.
She has a son.
Yeah. And she does not call me son. Well, she does call him son to her.
To his face, yes. Yeah. Well, we'll find out more in a little bit.
Yes.
We'll get there. Tommy then calls Morgan, so he shows up at her place. And as soon as he enters, she just starts going off on him. And she's reenacting all of her, like, jealous rant. She gets embarrassed, but he hugs her and says he wants to sleep over. She tells him that she wants to be alone now since all of the jealous feelings have come back. But it ends up, like, that happens and immediately cuts to them just, like, cuddling and hanging out. And they both swear off reunions from now on.
So cute. Scarlett watches Jihuan's drama at a restaurant and overhears all of the ladies gushing over him. The drama's doing very well in the ratings, and she texts him to congratulate him on, like, a job well done. They end up meeting up, and he buys her a gift. So earlier on, she, like, makes a comment about a really nice, like, pouch that he has. And so he bought her the same pouch. Couples pouches. He tells her that he has signed with an actual agency and thanks her for, like, helping him get everything set up.
Jumpstart.
Yeah, totally. She keeps calling herself a fan, and it makes him a little sad. Because it kind of seems like, I didn't do this for you because I like you personally. I'm a fan of your work.
Yeah.
So it's, like, kind of drawing a line in the sand of, like, this isn't a real thing. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't get it.
No.
Just kiss him.
Yeah. She sees that he is moving up, and she seems a little disappointed. Also, that they won't be as close, just a fan. So, like, basically they're all, like, happy that he's having success. But he's bummed that, like, she doesn't seem to be going on this journey with him as, like, a partner.
Because she's, like, just a fan.
Because she's just a fan. And she's bummed that he's becoming more successful because he's going to be busier, and, like, they won't be able to spend as much time together because she's just a fan. Which is so... I feel like fan culture is very different in Korea, and I could be totally wrong.
I mean, we see later on what fans give their celebrities. I'm like, what?
Yeah, like, I think, like, fan clubs are, like, a really big thing over there because, like, I follow some Korean celebrities on Twitter, and they're like, this is what my fan club bought. Like, my fan club bought me a birthday cake, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there are things like that in the States. I'm just not aware of them. But
yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to send someone a birthday
cake.
So.
I'd like to know. Can I know?
Yeah. Who would you send a birthday cake to? David Byrne.
Send one to David Byrne.
Blondie.
Yeah.
Debbie Harry.
Send one to Debbie Harry. Send one to David Byrne. Send one to Annie Clark.
I don't know who I would send a birthday cake to.
Send one to John Waters with, like...
With, like, cake cockroaches on them.
That'd be cute, actually. A little white cake with some little brown cockroaches. Yes.
Cockroaches.
Oh my god, that sounds beautiful.
I feel like everyone who I actually, like, enthusiastically really care about in this moment in my life is just, like, Korean people.
Well, then they would really get it.
Yeah, they would not be weirded out if I sent them a birthday cake. Who do I... Yeah, it's either, like, British people or Korean people. I don't know. I'll have to circle back to that. But yeah, so the whole fan thing, I guess, just seems, like, even weirder. I don't know.
It's interesting.
It's very, like, different to how stuff is in the U.S. So it's just kind of, maybe, like, a culture shock.
Yeah.
we cut back to Morgan and Tommy. Morgan tells Tommy more about his childhood. His parents are Australian, so that was the accent.
He's not British.
No, Australian.
He's all Australian. Okay.
Australian. That was my Australian accent.
He kind of had like an Australian Korean.
Maybe because he lived in Korea for so long.
Maybe.
I don't know. It checks out based on the story that Morgan tells.
Yeah.
So his parents are Australian that worked at the Korean embassy. He's grateful for them. He also tells her about meeting his birth mother. So basically, I kind of skipped over a lot of it. His parents work at the embassy. They moved back to Australia for a bit once their time at the embassy was up. And then they moved back to Korea. So he tells her that he met his birth mother like that day and it kind of bummed him out. And how that his adoptive parents helped him find his birth mother, which I thought was nice. So they're all kind of like open and on the same page. But he opens up how it made him sad to see that she is someone else's mom, and how when he called her, it just said his name, Student Park Morgan, instead of son.
So sad.
Like the other person. And so he kind of like insinuates that it's a cover. I guess maybe her actual son might not know about him, and like, so she doesn't have to...
Her actual son.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Her son that is...
The one that she birthed raising. And raised.
Yeah, the son that she's raising right now. That maybe doesn't find out, or like that she doesn't have to explain it to her coworkers. It's just kind of like messy.
Yeah.
Right? So that bummed him out.
Understandably.
Yeah, totally. They talk a bit more about his past and how people used to pity him, but like pretend like they weren't pitying him, and he appreciated how Tommy was very upfront with him. They confirmed their plans for Morgan to sleep over, but not just sleep.
Yeah.
Fade to black as
Yep, of course. Scarlett meets up with Brian, and they talk about the reorganization and what he's been up to. And he tells her that he's been busier now than when he was actually CEO, since everyone is coming to vent to him. And they talk a little bit more about work stuff, and Brian tells her life is all about timing, and he's kind of trying to give some advice about where the company should go and like what ideas they should take or whatever, with so many words. Ga-kyung is in trouble at work because a licensing agreement fell through the cracks, and she needs to access Tommy's old emails to help her out because Tommy was the one communicating with these people, and they're saying something that probably didn't happen, and weird shit is happening.
Yeah.
So boring work stuff, basically.
Yeah.
So she meets up with Tommy, but she meets up with Tommy to get access to her emails, but then she's also a bitch while asking.
Yeah, she doesn't ask Tommy. She's
like, I need this. You need to give me this.
Yeah.
Instead of apologizing for all the bullshit Tommy's had to go through this whole time.
Yeah.
Instead of asking and, like, explaining, this is what's happening and this is what, like, needs to happen. Please help, like, for this company or whatever. I mean, she kind of explains what's happening, and Tommy's just like, like, that can't happen, blah, blah, blah.
But she's, like, almost scolding Tommy, like, because you didn't do your job before you left, this is what I have to deal with now. And Tommy's like, you fucking fired me. Like, maybe you should have thought about all of the stuff I had to do before you fired me.
And you put me in the position of having to go to that stupid fucking meeting.
Yeah.
And having to cover for everyone. Such bullshit.
Yeah.
So they're kind of going back and forth. And Tommy tries to defend herself, but Ga-kyung keeps being mean. Scarlett overhears everything and steps in because that's just the kind of person she is. She tells Ga-kyung that she's afraid that she hasn't changed but was this type of person all along. And then it's just a bunch of dramatic face shots back and forth between the three of them. And Andrew walked in at that point, and he was like sitting there, and I was like, this is what a lot of the drama has been. Close up of faces, just like, oh, pop,
and like
pop.
Artsy shots from like super far away.
And like weird angles and stuff, and everyone looks upset or shocked or like a big thing has happened. And he's like, oh, okay. Yep.
So, we think the drama has ended with all like the face shots.
Yes.
But then it cuts back in and we revisit the flashback from earlier where like Scarlett was standing up for Ga-kyung and they are like confronting this girl. So basically what happened is a girl dropped a picture or whatever, painting, whatever. some sort of artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Gagyeong steps on it, and the girl and Gagyeong have, like, a back and forth, and then Scarlett steps in.
Mm-hmm.
And is like, you shouldn't have fucking dropped your picture, and then she wouldn't have stepped on it. We then circle back to see that girl was Tommy.
What?
You didn't catch that?
I did not catch that.
Okay. Yeah.
The girl who complained about her artwork being stepped on.
Yeah, because on the back, so they walk away holding hands, Scarlett and Gagyeong, and then we go back to the girl, and she's holding her artwork, and on the back of it, it says student grade 11, Beitami.
Oh shit, I didn't even see that.
Okay.
Did not see that.
I think I made up grade 11,
see,
but I thought something like that.
I thought the flashback was just saying, like, fucking Scarlett stood up for Gagyeong here, and they walked away in this certain manner, holding hands or whatever. And now Gagyeong is being, like, kicked to the curb, and now Scarlett is protecting somebody else.
No.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
wow.
It was, I think, to illustrate, like, maybe Scarlett took the wrong side in that.
Back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you, like, kind of look at it, it kind of looks like Gagyeong stepped on it on purpose.
Like she just didn't give a shit.
Yeah. But I was thinking, did they not all realize that they had fought like that before? And I was thinking, like, I should rewatch it because it kind of seemed like maybe they're from different schools or something, because I think on the back of the picture it said, like, her name, her school, and, like, what grade she was in. So maybe they were at, like, a field trip sort of thing. Like, you know how sometimes you, like, see other kids at schools?
But I wonder if Gagyeong realized, like, is this a flashback she's having realizing that? Or is this a flashback just for viewers to illustrate the shift?
I feel like it's just a flashback for viewers. That's kind of bullshit. I'm, like, getting paranoid now that it didn't say that, but I wrote it down thinking, like, the fuck? Like, that seemed unnecessary.
See, I didn't remember that at all. I remember that scene happening, but I didn't remember the name, but...
It's very quick because they kind of zoom in on her name, and, like, obviously it's in Korean, so you have to read the subtitles, like, pretty quickly to see, like...
I was probably just looking at the artwork.
Okay.
Because I remember seeing the big footprint on it. I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Ruined.
And, like, Scarlett was kind of mean about her artwork, and I'm like,
yeah, she's talking shit about it.
Yeah. I'm like, I thought it looked pretty good. Especially for, like, a high school student.
Yeah.
Who's just, like, supposed to draw a fucking landscape. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yep. You draw the landscape.
Yeah. So, anyway. Wild.
Well, that was the end of the episode.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Especially if you had caught that. It said Beethoven.
Yep. I was also still living and, like, losing my mind over the fucking piano teacher. Bullshit.
Yeah. To me, it kind of was like, piano teacher, and then I was like, meh, and then it was like, Beitami, that's weird. Like,
yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe I should watch those last 10 minutes again.
Yeah. I'll pull it up later.
I was also maybe distracted because Andrew was sitting there.
Well, because it kind of seemed like the episode was over. So I had also kind of, like, mentally checked out a little bit. But then it came back, and so I had to rewind it, because I think I was also, like, talking to Alex.
Yeah, in my head, I was just kind of like, oh shit, like, this, like, Scarlett has turned, like, she's not defending her anymore. Because that whole time, all the flashbacks were her defending Gagyeong and helping her and protecting her, and now it was showing her not sticking up for her and protecting someone else instead. So that's what I saw. I didn't realize. I'm
like 95% sure.
I'm sure you're right.
The girl with the picture was Beitami.
I'm sure you're right.
Well, let's just get into 12.
Yes.
Because I was so excited to watch 12 after 11.
All right, let's do it. So, 12 starts with Tommy and Scarlett walking away, and Gagyeong is just looking super depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy and Scarlett walk out, and they fight a little bit because Tommy actually feels bad for Ga-kyung, and Scarlett feels flustered and annoyed at Tommy for being so pitiful. And she's like, nobody fucking told you to come and protect me.
Uh-huh.
Like, I didn't ask for your help. I was doing okay by myself.
And Scarlett's like, clearly you weren't, because you looked really fucking sad. And, like, how could I not step in when you look so sad?
And flustered.
Uh-huh.
Ga-kyung's husband cancels lunch plans to meet up with her. She asks him to take her out of the place. And then they walk out holding hands, which is just like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And she still looks stunned, and Scarlett watches from a distance. So everyone's kind of, like, fucked up right now, honestly.
Scarlett's always watching people from a distance.
Really, honestly. They end up going to a park area, and they're watching the sunset, but she can't stop thinking about what Scarlett said about her. Like, the whole, you've probably always been this way.
A terrible person, yeah.
Yeah. And she said she's afraid that everything around her has started disappearing instead of her. Because, remember, she wanted to disappear.
Mm-hmm. So, the chairwoman plays golf with the president, and they talk about lobbying.
Nice.
I am not sure what the political rules are in Korea, if a lobbying is illegal. Uh-huh. Because they're kind of making it seem like it is.
Yeah.
But
the way they're kind of doing things.
It is legal in the U.S., unfortunately. So, yeah, I was like, are they not allowed to lobby? What's going on? But yeah, kind of more boring stuff. The task force team has another meeting about the front page redesign, and Scarlett comes up with the idea to change the keyword ranking list into a rolling list so that it takes up less space, and so it only shows, like, one keyword at a time, and they're like, no one really likes this fucking thing anyway, so, like, let's just make it small, and let's, like, phase it out so we can be, like, innovative and forward-thinking.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that fucking thing was ugly anyway.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to see just a list of things?
Yeah.
I don't want to know what other people are searching for. Like,
yeah, and I mean, like, on Twitter, the trending thing is, like, its own little page.
Yeah,
so,
you have to go to it.
Yeah, but yeah, it looked... The way they had it looked pretty outdated to me.
Agreed.
So, Scarlett then searches Joel Ji Hwan. Sol Ji Hwan. I made a typo there. Sol Ji Hwan, and she talks to Jenny about what fans would do for celebrities. And then they kind of get into, like, do people still buy them refrigerators?
What?
Yeah. So they have these things, like, called fan cafes and, like, fan clubs. So, like, yeah, I think people can create their own fan club and then they organize.
So interesting.
I know. I'm like, okay.
It seems very time-consuming.
Yeah. I have seen, though, where, like, so I think we'll get into it later, but, like, the whole coffee truck thing, like, that's, like, a super big thing over there.
So interesting.
Yeah, because all these, like, Korean celebrities post on their Instagrams or Twitters or whatever when other celebrities or, like, fan people, like, buy the set a coffee truck, so it makes them look good for everybody. Yeah, very weird. So Pyo Jun-soo's ex, Dongju, not Hong, Dongju, is live streaming her reaction to the drama that Sol Ji Hwan is in, and is immediately interested in him. And I'm like, girl, I mean, I know she doesn't know that Scarlett is involved with him, but I'm like, I guess I have very
She's gonna get
tastes.
her ass kicked.
Oh yeah. I'm afraid that, like, they're gonna be in the same sphere, and it's gonna make Scarlett upset. But maybe that's the kick in the pants that she needs.
Yep.
We'll see. That was a mini prediction also. Brian watches the live stream while fishing with a friend, and they talk about how people at Bato want him back.
Aww.
Yeah. And Brian's like, I watch this stuff to stay current. So, yeah.
I mean, honestly, he's probably living, like, his best life.
I know.
Not at work anymore.
It kind of seems like this is what he was doing, but just not getting paid.
Yeah.
So
that's the only downside.
Yeah. Like, bro, why don't you just come back as an advisor?
Yeah. That's a good
what
idea.
I would do. I'd be like, look.
I'll advise you.
I'll be an advisor. I'll come in, like, 2 days a week, and you can pay me less if you want to. But, like, clearly people want me here. But maybe I shouldn't be in a position of power because of the whole scandal thing. So, just make me an advisor.
It's a good idea.
I know.
Good idea.
I should be, like, a career coach.
Tommy gets home and sees Morgan cleaning her apartment. Likes to clean.
Yeah.
And this is the first time... Oh, you made note of this.
So he's vacuuming. And I was going to say, this is the first time I've seen someone vacuuming in a K-drama not using a Dyson. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why even bother showing him vacuuming? Like,
if you're not going to show that
get
Dyson.
Get that money from Dyson, people.
Morgan tells Tommy that he probably won't be able to come over very much since he's starting a new project. No clues as to what his new project is, though. Mm-hmm. They have a discussion about him moving in, and it kind of fizzles out when Morgan brings up a proposal, and Tommy clarifies that they live together without getting married. They end up going grocery shopping and talking about her work stuff and bringing up marriage again. Mm-hmm. And that whole time, I was thinking, like, oh shit, they're gonna see the piano teacher, but they didn't.
Yeah.
I kept thinking it was going to be, like, a bump into each other situation.
Yeah. I thought it was really cute how she was just kind of, like, hanging on to him. Uh-huh. Like, it reminded me of, like, Yoda and Star Wars. Oh, my God. When Yoda just almost looks like a little backpack on Luke. Yeah, that's kind of what she looked like, because he's so, like, big and, like, broad, and she's so tiny. And she was just, like, riding him. It was really cute. But, yeah, but then it kind of got awkward, because he's like, are you proposing to me? And she's like, fuck no. No, I just want you to live here so we can, like, do it and you can clean my apartment. That's basically...
and make me food.
What it seemed like, right? I mean,
agreed.
Tommy has a great deal going on with him. Blah, blah, blah. A Seoul Ji Hwan fan club sends a coffee truck to the set of the drama and the crew gets excited. And they're like, yeah, good job, guy. Like, you're really hitting
You have a
big.
fan club now.
Yeah. It's cute. Tommy pitches the scrolling keyword ranking thing to the acting CEO and meets opposition from the guy who is the head of the search department.
Of course.
Yeah, so basically they're like, cut this, cut this, cut this, and like everyone is understandably upset because their work is being cut.
Yeah.
The CEO, Kevin, agrees to the plan, but he makes Tommy terminate the My Homepage service altogether. So originally they were just going to, like, remove the links, I guess, but still have it be accessible. But he's like, no, like, just scrap the whole thing. It's wasting money. So, bummer. The TF team tries to figure out how to handle that situation, how to break the news to, like, not only the employees, but, like, to the people at large. It's basically, like...
It's like a Facebook.
A Facebook or a MySpace. Yeah. Like, because they said basically no one uses it anymore. Mm-hmm. And it kind of, like, captured...
It's just sitting there with people's old memories.
Yeah, so that I kind of thought of MySpace, because it's, like, some people still use Facebook. Yeah. But, like, no one uses MySpace anymore. And I don't remember my login, and there are pictures from me at prom with Alex on my MySpace, but no idea how to get into it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Tommy and Jenny meet with Pyo-Jun-soon.
Pyo-Jun-soon?
God damn it, I don't know which...
I don't remember his name either.
That guy. That asshole. Uh-huh. So they're talking about the gaming tab thing, and then they run into Morgan and another Botto coworker as they're leaving. The other coworker knows Jenny, so the two of them are talking.
I think her name is Cindy.
Yes. And Tommy is just like, what?
Yeah, she is.
She's so fucking surprised. Uh-huh. And they pretend like they don't know each other. Jenny and the other girl, Cindy, walk away to go talk or whatever and catch up. Mm-hmm. So Morgan leaves with Tommy. He teases her about being surprised, and then they're about to kiss in a break room when 3 Botto employees try to walk in, and he kind of stops them. Tommy hides, and it's so cringy and uncomfortable, and I can't imagine being in that position.
No.
Morgan tells him that he'll bring coffee to them, because he's saying, like, oh, I was just getting water. And one of the girls is like, oh, I was going to get coffee. He's like, oh, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm really good at making coffee.
Okay, you're good at pushing a button. Okay,
yeah, like
nice.
a freaking Keurig. Like.
Wonderful. So the girls are sitting there, and Tommy is stuck. And I like how she's mouthing to him, like, get them out of here. Uh-huh. And he just kind of smiles at her, and then he goes in, kisses her, and it's like, woo.
I know. It's
kissing
very
in the
romantic.
workplace. Come on. Scarlett is deep in thought, and she gets a call from Seoul Ji-hwan. And he's thanking her for the coffee truck. And then she basically stalks him. And it's really weird and kind of uncomfortable. Uh-huh. But she's, like, following him around and looking really cute, like a kid.
Yeah.
It's really funny. And basically what happened was Scarlett put up some sort of billboard type thing in the subway, and it's kind of just promoting him, talking about, like, up-and-coming new actor. He's so great, this and that. So she wanted to see his expression. So she's following him through the subway station. And then he sees it. He stands there. He's staring at it. And then she's watching him, like, waiting for him to look excited. And then at one point she's like, he's crying?
Yeah. He looked like he's super overwhelmed.
Uh-huh. And then he just, like, runs away. And I was like, what the fuck? What happened?
Where are you going?
It was so awkward. And she looks like, what the fuck is going on? But then he, like, comes back. And he's holding, like, a rose in his hand. And he's looking at it again. And then he tries to call her. And her phone goes off. Because she's dumb and has the sound on. And he sees her. And he asks, like, why did you do this? And then he says something like, how am I supposed to repay you? How am I supposed to, like, give you something when you give me, like, all of these things?
Yeah, like, basically, she's reignited his career and sent a coffee truck and put up a billboard for, like...
And got him his photo of his dog back.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't know how to, like, make it up to you or repay you for all the stuff that you've done.
And that is kind of, like, burdensome, I guess, in a way, because it's like...
You feel obligated to do something and you don't know what to do.
Yeah, like nothing would ever be good enough, I guess.
And she basically just, like, slowly takes the rose and is like, I'll take this. Like, this will do. And then he walks her home and yada yada. But again, like, it's another conversation about her being a quote-unquote fan.
Yeah, well, and on the way home, they were doing that thing where their hands were almost touching. And I'm like,
you can, like, feel the tension
yeah.
and, like, the energy and the sparks. And it's just like...
Those two actors have really good chemistry.
Just grab that hand. Just grab that fucking hand, please.
Grab that hand.
Do a wrist grab and then fucking kiss.
Yeah.
Spin and kiss and go for the hand and hug and fucking... I don't know.
Just touch each other.
Just do something. Come on.
Yeah.
So anyway, she tells him that she was a fan from the start. And it's disappointing since it seems like she doesn't have actual feelings for him. But then it seems like she does. And she just doesn't want him to see them.
I don't know why.
And so she goes inside, and I really liked her door, by the way. I don't know if that was, like, an entry door for the for an apartment thing or for an actual house. But she walks in, and it's, like, a curved door on the top. It's rounded. It's really pretty. But she walks in. She looks conflicted. And then it cuts to him outside, and he's just like... come back out, like I haven't left yet. And it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then he, like, sees the light.
Just look out the window at least.
Yeah, he sees the light, like, go on in her room, and then he starts to walk away. But I'm like, oh, why are you doing this to me?
It's rough.
Yeah. So, Morgan gets home to see the piano teacher. I was like, again?
Yep.
Daeen, that's her name.
What's her name?
Daeen. I think. I don't know what her last name is. Daeen sitting with his friend / coworker. I think his last name is Kim. Like he was CEO Kim or something like that. She came to drop off tickets for her recital.
Part of me is like, she's gonna play his song. She's like plagiarized his song.
So they both teased Morgan for ignoring her messages. Basically, she was like, I was texting you, but you didn't text me back. And his friend's like, why didn't you text her back? Blah, blah, blah.
Because he strings girls along.
And he's, like, currently in another fish tank, so fuck off. So she asks him about getting married, and he says that he wants to. So, okay. She gives him the invitations to her recital.
What a strange thing to just bring up.
Yeah, it seems a little bit more organic, but not really. Like, they talk about, I think it's kind of like, oh, are you seeing someone or something? And she's like, oh, you're not married yet? Like, I thought you would get married. And he's like, I want to, but, like, it just never seems to work out or something. So, yeah, she kind of went for it. So, yeah, they talk a little bit more about their past, and she leaves. And then Morgan's friend suggests that they use her for their upcoming project because Morgan never likes the piano players that they get. Because he makes a comment like, oh, she's like, she's not too professional, but what does he say? Like, she's out of our league almost in terms of like how talented she is.
Her skills.
Yes. Nay.
Tommy meets with Brian and they talk about his resignation. But Brian tells her that Bado's acting CEO, Kevin, and the CEO from Unicon are both meeting with the fucking chairwoman. Mm-hmm. And he finds the meeting unsettling since it's probably about politics and wants to know if she has anyone on the inside that can give them the tea. Mm-hmm. And Tommy says she knows someone, but she's unsure whose side they're on. And we all know who that is.
Yeah.
Scarlett meets with the head of the My Homepage department, and she tries to be sympathetic, but tells her that it's time for it to be gone, and life moves forward, blah, blah, blah. The woman, Michelle, brings up the past and how hard they worked to make My Homepage popular, and Scarlett brings up how overworked she was and tells her that she wants her proud moments to be in the present and not the past. And then we get a fucking terrible flashback.
Yeah, it's really gnarly.
Of her life working on this fucking My Homepage bullshit. And it's just like, she goes up to ask this woman, like, can I go home? Like, I think I'm going to go home and go to sleep or whatever. And she's like, yeah, you haven't been home in 2 days, haven't you? It's like, what?
She looks rough.
What?
Yeah. And then she's, like, hooked up to an IV.
I would fucking die.
Oh, she gets a nosebleed.
She gets a nosebleed, like, shortly, like, right as that conversation happens, somebody comes in with a problem, like, music's not playing on their fucking MySpace homepage, and so everyone flips out, and she, like, rushes to her computer, and immediately gets a nosebleed, like, the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
All this for a fucking web page? Are you kidding me? It's, like, a fucking blog? Come on.
Yeah.
It's a Tumblr.
I mean, they made it the most popular in Korea.
I guess.
But, yeah.
Nothing to fucking go to the hospital over.
I know.
And she's, like, in the hospital in pain on her computer.
And crying.
God.
Yeah,
Just when she said, like, you haven't been home in 2 days, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I had a very stressful job in the past where it was, like, demanding in that way. And
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Where I was a social media person?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, like, panic attack inducing stress for me. And, like, I only lasted there for, like, 4 months. So I can't imagine her, like... And I mean, I wasn't even working as much as she was. Like,
yeah.
I was working... I mean, some days I did work, like, 12, 13-hour days just because of different events I had to go to and stuff. But, man, I was like... I noped out of there
real quick as possible.
I was like, I don't like this for how much money I'm getting paid. So, yeah, I can sympathize, but I obviously did not work as hard as her, and I did not work as long as her.
Yeah, I don't really know many people that work as hard as Scarlett.
Yeah, that work ethic, it's no joke.
Yeah.
So...
Back to the present.
Back to the present. Scarlett is writing her, like, notice for the My Homepage service being canceled. And it's kind of, like, intertwining with that, like, shitty flashback. So she's done with it. Tommy meets up with Scarlett to console her. And she takes her drinking. But this time, Tommy's going to be the sober one. And Scarlett will have, like, the freedom to get crunk.
Yep.
Scarlett admits now that the My Homepage... Scarlett admits that now that the My Homepage service or whatever is being thrown away, it feels like her youth is over and she gets, again, super drunk. Tommy takes her home when she passes out, like, at the restaurant, and Scarlett keeps laughing at Tommy for being cute and asks Tommy to sleep with her. Tommy says no, but then she throws a fit and calls her Shorty. Tommy gets mad at being called Shorty, but then...
Tommy gets mad at being called everything.
I know. Tommy's just, like, a little grumpy, like... she's almost like a little chihuahua or something. Like
everything makes her mad. She's all upset.
She gets, like, a little nippy. So, yeah. She gets mad at being called Shorty. Then, Scarlett looks at her, like, really sad and calls her Uni.
Can you remind me what Uni means?
It's, like... big sister.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. So you can call your, like, biological big sister Oni, or you can call, like, a close friend that's holy. Like, I could call you Oni, but the way she says it, it's very much like...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sweet, but also kind of pitiful. But also, like, they weren't that close now, so it's kind of like taking a step.
Yeah.
Being closer to each other. So that, like, gets Tommy, and they end up laying down together. And Scarlett ends up, like, sleepy drunk ranting about how tiring life is. And I'm like, yes, girl. I personally have had a hard week this week, and I'm like, life is exhausting, and you just have to keep going through it. So she asks Tommy to sign the permission form that Ga-Gyeong asked her to sign for, like, the email things. And then she starts dry heaving, and...
Not cute.
I know, and Tommy's like, get out! So they, like, rush to the bathroom, and she breaks Morgan's electric razor thing?
Looked like it.
Question mark?
Yeah. The next day, everyone is talking about the My Homepage termination, and we see the different characters looking at their profiles, and we listen to the voiceover of Scarlett giving the notice about how they're going to treasure how everyone should treasure their memories and to think of Bado's My Homepage while they do so. And basically, like, y'all have 2 months or so to go through and, like, save your images, save your memories or whatever. And yeah. It's kind of a sad moment, and it's just a little flashback.
And it's kind of, like,
montage of people.
Cute seeing people, like, looking through their old photos and stuff.
And then it cuts to that fucking PJS asshole, and he's like, I look good then, too. Like, no, you fucking didn't. You still don't, you asshole. It sucks so much. Ga-Gyeong goes to Vado, and she runs into Scarlett, and then they have an awkward interaction, which happens often. And Ga-Gyeong asks how she's doing with the My Homepage being terminated, and then asks how much she hates her. She said, like, she wants to know comparatively, like, what she should expect. And Scarlett basically says, like, I've never hated you. And then she runs away.
Yeah, like, do they like each other? Like,
I don't know.
It's so confusing, because I'm like...
I know.
Is Scarlett bi? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe that's why she doesn't want to commit to handsome actor Juan. And also, like, it's like, why are you asking fucking Tommy to sleep with you? It just seemed weird.
I get kind of wanting to, like, someone to, like, hold you or, like, be, you know, cuddled in that way. But it is kind of weird. I mean, she was just really fucking drunk, so who knows? If I got, like, pass out drunk, I might be like, Jill.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't picture myself doing that, but maybe, like, under the right circumstances, I guess.
Well, I guess it also depends what type of drunk you are.
Yeah.
Because Alex is a super, like, lovey-dovey drunk. And so he's I could see him, like, doing that with Andrew, even being like, just
and wanting, Andrew would.
Yeah. Just wanting someone to, like, be there with him. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm not angry or anything. I just get, like, really, like, giggly and kind of lovey, but sleepy mostly. I was just gonna say, I've heard you get sleepy. Yeah. I don't think I've ever really witnessed it. Yeah, usually when I'm drinking, if we're, like, in a party situation, and if there's, like, a lot going on, like, I'll stay up and, like, I'll have a good time and I'll, like, sing and dance and stuff. But if it's, like, we're just drinking beer or wine on the couch, I will, like, pass out quick. So, interesting. Ga-Gyeong gets the form signed from Tommy. And in return, Tommy asks for intel about the meeting between the two CEOs and the chairwoman to kind of make things even. So it's good to see them working together at least. Yeah, and Ga-Gyeong did not know about the meeting. Yeah, and I think that's what really made her be like, okay, sure, I'll do it. Because she's curious. Yep, they have the common enemy. Yes. Ga-Gyeong's parents come to her husband's office. Let me read that again. Ga-Gyeong's parents come to her husband's office, and he basically gives them buildings and cash so that they will let everything go.
And they're kind of just like, what are these papers? What's happening? Blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, you guys have all this stuff now. You don't have to worry about, like, working for us or doing anything for us. Like, you can just live your lives. And then her parents are asking why, and he's going along with it. And then he just yells at them for ignoring her and basically just being shithole parents.
Yeah.
Just, like, y'all never thought about her feelings or cared about anything that she wanted or needed. Like,
yeah, it's just like,
fuck off.
Yeah, it's basically like, here's some money. Here's some buildings for, like, continued income and, like, for y'all to have a place to live. So just peace out and don't bother her anymore. And I'm like, that's a good deal.
Yeah,
I take it.
I agree. I take it right now.
Uh-huh.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, and he also tells them not to tell Go-Gyun about it. And I'm like, that's probably going to come back to bite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Tommy and Morgan meet up again. He buys food and convinces her to play piano in the mall, I guess. To prove...
It looks like a little mini, like, Guitar Center type place.
Yeah.
But just, like, in a mall.
Uh-huh. So he convinces her to play piano in the store to prove how good she is, which is cute because he, like, looks really proud of her.
And she's actually, like, pretty good.
Yeah. I guess that piano teacher, they don't just gossip about boys.
I guess the piano playing would be boring for a viewer to watch.
Yeah, if it was just, like, really...
Dun, 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 dun,
dun. So, at the mall, they run into his mom, which is...
His biological
mom. Which is very awkward because, no shade, Tommy looks great. But you can kind of see the age difference when it's like Morgan, Tommy, and then his mom. And Tommy kind of looks closer
to the mom.
Which, to be fair, I think the mom was like very young when she had Morgan.
Yeah, it seems like maybe 18 or something.
Yeah.
19, I don't know. I think they might have said.
I think he makes a comment like she wasn't even 21 or something. So she was very young. And Tommy is 10 years older than Morgan. So presumably the mom is only 10 years older than Tommy. So like their age differences are all like...
all 10s.
Yeah. Overwhelming. So it's really awkward because Tommy introduces herself as his coworker.
Ouch.
Yeah. And I find it weird that Morgan let Tommy be the one to introduce herself.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, just say, like, this is my girlfriend, Tommy. Or, like, this is my friend, Tommy. Like, why would you put that
pressure on her to decide?
Yeah. But maybe he didn't want to, like, put words on her. I don't know.
Or wanted to see what she would say.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
So, they have a super awkward car ride home. Like, no one's saying anything. And he drops her off. And they end up fighting about marriage. Basically, it all circles back to, like, well, it starts with, like, Morgan being like, you know, my feelings are hurt. I kind of just, like, want to be by myself and, like, think about it. And she's like, no, like, we should talk about it. And it kind of devolves into, like, you don't think about me. I don't think about you. Like, you want to get married. I don't want to get married.
Yeah.
And then Tommy being like, you are judging me because obviously you think, like, being married is better than not being married because you're the one who's, like, interrogating me on why I don't want to get married. And I feel like she has a very good point.
Yeah. Like, I can definitely see both sides.
Yeah, totally.
Of it, but the fact that she has to defend herself constantly in her reasoning as to why.
Yeah.
Whereas if you want to get married, nobody's like, why do you want to get married? It's just like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if someone says they don't want to, everyone's like, how could you not want to get married? What's wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And, like, you don't want that coming from, like, the person that's supposed to be in love with you.
Yeah.
Like, fine if, like, your mom is saying that or something. But, like, I don't know. And I think that's, like, also what kind of brings it up. Like, Tommy was saying, you know, I thought we could be cool about this. Like, I knew this was always going to come up, but, like, it kind of came up really fast.
Yeah.
So
leading up to that piano player, that's why.
I know. So they leave on a really bad note. Basically, they just, like, both leave.
Yeah, it was just...
It doesn't get resolved.
I mean, it's really understandable for him, too. It's, like, really sad. Because it's, like, first, I see my mom's phone,
mm-hmm.
and I'm just the student.
Mm-hmm.
And then to you, I'm just a coworker. And, like, I'm not that special thing. To anyone who's supposed to be special.
Yeah.
It's just, like, it's kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, when he brought that up, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And you can tell she feels really bad.
Yeah, she didn't realize.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, how could you not realize? Like, it seemed like a very important conversation that the two of them had about his feelings.
Yeah, but in that moment, I could kind of understand because, like, she's put on the spot. Like,
mm-hmm.
she wasn't mentally prepared, and to me, it kind of seems like they haven't been dating that long.
Yeah.
So, like, the thought of meeting each other's parents probably, like,
mm-hmm.
didn't even cross her mind, especially because she's, like, older.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It just sucks. It seems like they were having a decent time.
Yeah.
Fucking around and stuff.
Yeah. But then, like, real life hits you.
Mm-hmm.
They're, like, out of their cute
And real life
bubble.
is hard.
I know. And, I mean, this is why people break up, like, even though they like each other. Like,
mm-hmm.
because they have different priorities and stuff. And it's really sad.
Yeah. Ga-kyung's husband goes over to the apartment and asks to stay over because he's worried about her. Which, I mean, she has had some threatening moments
mm-hmm.
with some of the dudes that work for his mom or whatever.
Well, I think he was, like, also worried about her maybe committing suicide? Question mark?
Maybe.
Because, like, while they're watching the sunset earlier on, she kind of makes a comment about, like, wanting to end it all or something.
Uh-huh. She keeps making those comments about wanting to disappear.
Yeah.
Go away forever.
And so he's like, I saw the sunset today and thought of you and was worried. So, yeah.
It seems sad when someone sees a fucking sunset and then they're worried about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, he starts out on the couch, but they end up sleeping in the same bed, and Ga-kyung tells him that she needs to delay the divorce a little bit to do something.
Yeah. He moves to the bed, but it's almost less romantic.
Yeah, they're just,
somehow.
like, as far apart as you could possibly be
mm-hmm.
in the same bed.
Yeah.
All right. Cute, I guess.
Yeah.
To start. Ga-kyung crashes the meeting with the two CEOs, and basically the president is bribing the portal sites by changing the way they're taxed so they can alter their search word rankings. It's all more like shitty politics.
Yeah, basically they'll save, like, almost billions of
mm-hmm.
won or millions of dollars if they play along.
Mm-hmm. Ga-kyung exchanges words with the mother-in-law, and they basically just tell each other good luck with life and fuck off.
Yeah, like, I'm coming for you, bitch. I'm also coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
We'll see who wins.
That was their whole conversation.
Yeah.
In, like, 3 sentences.
Tommy is at home and looks really bored and lonely, and she's thinking about Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
And then Morgan ends up going to the piano recital and thinks about Tommy, but Tommy is also there, but Morgan doesn't know she's there because she's sitting behind him a few rows back and to the right of him, technically. And then she sees him in the audience, and she looks at him, and then she looks at the piano player, and her face suddenly turns into that one meme of that blonde woman with all of the, like, math symbols and shit where you're, like, connecting everything. We need to redo that with Tommy's face from the fucking recital. Because that's exactly how she looks.
And she keeps, like, getting flashbacks of, like, she said this, and he said this, and then it, like, ends on her.
Mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm.
He is my first love. Boom. Morgan. Ah! So good.
Intense.
I wanted to keep watching after it, and I kept thinking, like, if I watch and I just don't tell Jill.
Oh my god.
Could I fake?
No, you couldn't.
No.
I like how the first episode we talked about,
mm-hmm.
we discover that the piano teacher
mm-hmm.
thinks of him as her first love.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this last episode at the end,
mm-hmm.
fucking Tommy is realizing this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it started in the beginning, and then we don't see anything really about them at all.
It was like
until the end.
Yeah.
It's nice. Sandwiched between
all
the other junk.
I agree. Man. I'm so fucking excited to, like...
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't either. Did you watch any of the, like, next time?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
I only watched part of it because it was just, like, autoplay or whatever. But those never fucking, like, play out the way...
Yeah, the way they advertise it.
Uh-huh. But, yeah, I'm like... Okay, let's just jump into prediction.
Okay.
Or how do you... Obviously, we, like, are super jazzed about these 2 episodes.
Yes,
like,
these were by far the best, I think.
Yeah. I told Andrew and Alex earlier, it was, like, a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're, like, really on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really good. These past 4 episodes have maybe been some of my favorites in K-drama history.
Ooh, that's saying something.
Because I really like Tommy and Scarlett together.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlett and Gag-young is confusing, but intriguing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlett and Ji-hwan is also very, like, I don't know. It's exciting, but also, like, just stop it. Like, it gives you all of the feels, right? Like, all of the ranges of emotions.
Yes.
And then you have, like, a good villain to, like, really hate.
Yes, that fucking mom.
Yeah.
And then you also have, like, Gag-young and her husband.
Yeah.
Which is a really strange relationship, but very interesting.
Yeah. And then you have, like, these women just, like, trying to make it work and be career people, too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they all look fabulous in their suits and stuff, so...
Just all get along. Come on.
Yeah. They just need to team up against the mother-in-law.
Yes, and the shitty CEO men.
Yeah, and they can just have, like, a throuple. Scarlett, Gag-young, and Tommy. And they don't need to worry about Morgan.
Idea. That's a good idea.
Or the husband, or Ji-hwan. The women can form a throuple.
I like it.
That's my fan fiction.
Write it. We'll read it.
I'm sure it's already out there. So, prediction.
Yeah, I mean, after that recital, I'm assuming that the piano teacher is going to talk to Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if Tommy is going to go up and talk to her. Because that could be a moment where all 3 of them...
Or if Tommy is going to go up to Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Or if he's just kind of trying to, like, sneak out of there.
Yeah.
I feel like Tommy is going to do that thing where when you're, like, upset with not necessarily someone, but just a situation, you, like, try to push them away even more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that Air Bud thing where it's like, go! I don't want you anymore.
I could totally see her being that way.
Yeah, like, and
she can be cold.
She can, like, turn it on and off really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, she knows that the piano teacher, like, wants to fucking, like, marry him and have his babies.
Yep.
And they just had a fight about him wanting to be married, so, like, it makes logical sense for them to be together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the heart does not always follow
Agreed.
the brain, but...
Agreed.
I said heart kind of in an Irish accent. The heart. I'm tired. But yeah, I feel like Tommy might do that. We'll see what Morgan does. Will Tommy and the piano teacher stay friends? I feel like that will be a true testament to
the friendship of these women.
Uh-huh. I feel like Scarlett would also, like, fucking be really threatening to the piano teacher. Because it's fucking back off, and also she's my friend.
Uh-huh, so fuck you.
It would be like a double layers of jealousy and, like, yeah. I'm excited. What else?
I'm predicting finally a kiss between Kwon and Scarlett.
Yeah, I want that to happen.
That's my prediction. Within these next 2 episodes.
We're going into episodes 13 and 14.
Yes.
So it'll be, like, technically 1 week before the finale.
Eee.
So usually, if we're following the patterns of regular K-dramas, 13 and 14 is usually, like, when the big stuff happens, and then 15 and 16 is usually tying stuff up.
Yeah, the resolving.
Yeah. So.
And then sometimes talking to the camera. In an awkward way.
Yes. So, I'm super excited for next week. But, yeah.
Should we go into fashion?
Yes, God!
Yes. I didn't write down a lot because I was, like, very focused
Same.
on the plot.
I know I really liked that door.
Okay.
When, the outfit, actually, that Scarlett is wearing at that time. She's wearing, like...
Oh, the orange?
Yeah, orange
like,
and, like,
sport.
yellowy.
Yeah, I said Scarlett's all orange look.
Yeah, that was really cute.
Yeah, I agree. Also, in that same, I guess, time frame, Tommy is also wearing an orange skirt.
Oh.
So, matching. Couples orange skirts. Scarlett's fuchsia suit.
Yes, that is a good look.
That.
Absolutely. I also really like Jenny's overall look. I like her glasses.
Yes.
Big frame glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her hair. I really like that texture.
Like the crimped almost.
Yes,
yeah.
but not quite. It's not quite a hard crimp.
Yeah, I kind of want to buy one of those tools.
It's
It's like
the way it looks.
It's basically like a crimper, but like a really wide one. So, but I already have like 4 curling irons that I never use. So it's added to the pile of crap that I don't use because I just put my hair in a bun.
I feel you.
Or let it air dry.
I feel you.
That's all I wrote down. There were other things that I liked, but I just can't think of them because
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Oh, I'm really liking how Ellie is doing her hair parted to the side. Because I think when we first met her, she maybe had like little baby bangs or something.
Yes.
But now, ever since she's become more professional, she's like parted her hair to the side, and
It's like she got the help of a drag queen or something.
Yeah, she's like done a real big glow up.
She had a gay friend come and help her.
Yeah. And her and Alex, is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy who's helping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look cute together.
Yeah, something might brew there in the next 2 episodes. I think that was all the fashion I had.
Yeah, I like Ga Young's hair. It's very simple, but sometimes it looks a little greasy, which I mean I can relate. But other times, like I don't know, like the cut of it looks really good.
The shape.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. The mother-in-law is fucking scary.
Yeah, she sucks.
Yeah,
she sucks so hard.
That's not really fashion. It's just
an observation. Yeah, observational facts here. She fucking sucks.
Also, I kind of think it's funny how like the Dongju. That's her name. I don't know why I keep wanting to call her Hong. Dongju. I think it's funny how super trendy her clothes are. Like, she basically just looks like Yes Style.
Yes. 100%. Yep. She's like a fucking spokesperson.
Super skinny. Like her blush, like that.
She gets a package from them every month with free items for her to wear on her social media platform.
Yeah, I guess that's fashion.
Yay.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. I will always love you.
I love you moment. Do you have one?
I wrote down everything was kind of sad, but the ending was so good.
Agreed.
I really liked Tommy and Morgan's forbidden kiss in the break room. That wasn't really so much an I love you, but more of a that's hot kind of a moment.
Yeah.
But everything, I feel like this episode was not really I love you, but almost like I love you, but I can't do anything about it. So the almost hand holding between Scarlett and Ji-hwan. And you know how I almost anti I love you moments?
Yeah.
That still give you all the feels. Like when Morgan and Tommy are fighting at the when they're fighting, and then when we cut to them at the recital, I'm just So yeah, that ending.
I guess an I love you moment for me is Ji-hwan with Scarlett when he's standing outside afterward and saying come back out, I'm still here. Oh fuck.
I also really liked when they were reading, doing
the lines,
together.
yeah.
and he just, like, hugs her. They're
Yeah.
both really awkward people.
They're really awkward, and they both seem very emotional.
Yeah.
Like,
But I like how he's like, don't get upset, don't get upset.
yeah.
Because she's about to kick that dude's ass.
I feel like they both take everything to heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
They feel very
like,
strongly.
sentimental.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, you know, some friendship, some girl love of Tommy and Scarlett holding hands.
Yeah.
And then Tommy consoling her while she dry heaves in her over the sink. Not even over the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, girl.
Messy girl.
Take a few steps the other way and go over the toilet, not the sink. Jesus.
She tried.
She did.
At least she got it in a hole.
That's true. Not on a bed.
It goes somewhere.
True,
it's not hidden in the bed like fucking Edie. Throwing up in the bed.
Under the covers.
Fuck. Yes, those are the worst. God. Animals.
I know. They're so great, but also they poop and
can
pee
be
and throw
irritating.
up.
They can be so irritating.
Totally. So on that note...
Tell us about your pets. What do they piss and vomit on?
At OK Drama Pod, OK Drama Podcast. The links are also in the show notes.
OK Drama Podcast on Insta. OK Drama Podcast on
Facebook.
And Insta too, or is it different on Insta? I always forget.
Twitter, it's OK Drama Pod.
I mean, yeah, Twitter.
Pod. No.
Pod.
Yeah. And you can email us. Oh, so we will have some very special guests for our recap episode in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
so
that sounds right.
Feel free to like tweet us or email us questions, so we can like add maybe a little segment in addition to our OK Drama Awards featuring some special guests that may or may not be Alex and Andrew again, but probably not.
Probably not.
If things pan out the way we're planning. So, yes.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Very much looking forward to next week.
Same.
So
I want to see what happens after fucking Tommy has finished thinking and calculating everything in her brain.
Putting red string across a bulletin board.
Post-its everywhere.
Yeah, like Charlie, what's his face?
Yes, Charlie Day.
Yeah. She's like a combination of those two memes.
Yes.
So good. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Okay, drama.